everybody, and welcome to this week's From Boxes to Butterflies. This is going to be a little bit different week because it's just going to be us. I'm not bringing in any guests today. There's just so many other things that are going on right now, and this is a chance to this is a chance to kind of go through all these different things. And there's Move Beyond Boxes and Shine. That is what my focus is on, both in writing, in speaking, in consulting. And then there's Level Up Academy, which I'm also a part of. And there's so many things happening with CJ. I'm going to try and do a bit of a rundown today of all these different things that are going on, as well as some of the normal announcements that I do, and give you an idea, because actually I know I've got a lot of newer followers too, to give a little bit more detail on what Move Beyond Boxes and Shine really is, as well as the things that are going on that are underway. And you can see all those QR codes at the top of my screen. Those are a lot of the things that are going on right now that I want to help raise the awareness of, get it out there to say, hey, there is a lot happening at the end of this month and throughout the summer into the fall. We have so many things on tap. This is going to be an amazing summer, and I'm really excited to have you here and be able to let you know about this. I want to touch on a couple of things that I normally do. So the first thing I want to put out there, which is always at the top of my mind, is be sure that you're checking in with the people around you, the people that you know are going through a difficult time, the people who something's happened in their life. And while for everybody else, it's like, okay, it happened and you're there and you're supporting, but sometimes these are ongoing situations. It's not just a week. It's not just a month. Sometimes it's months and longer. So think about those in your life who something has happened. I don't want to say example. There's just something's happened in their life and things are a little bit difficult, or they're going through a rocky period. Reach out to them, check in at least to say, hey, I haven't heard from you. How are you doing? Or how are you doing? Really? Because so many of us are very good at having a whole lot of turmoil. And at the same time, when we're asked what's going on and the face that we show the world, see, faces, masks, it's like everything's honky-dory, everything's fine, but it's not. So check in with the people around you. It's so important. I want to jump in with this. We talk about pre-order, and actually the book is available now in Barnes & Noble. So this is no longer just an Amazon thing. Beyond Boundaries, Thriving in Life's Gray Zone. Especially the Barnes & Noble QR code here for purchases. There's a group of us. This anthology, 27 authors, a #1 international best-selling book. And we've moved it. In fact, CJ has moved it from Amazon to being able to go into the bookstores, Barnes & Noble, Powell's, that's my local bookstore. I mean, it's a big bookstore. 4 city blocks of books, new and used. So there you go, Powell's. Having this in a bookstore, how many anthologies have you ever seen that are in a bookstore? Then on top of that, there's a group of us in 2 weeks from Saturday, on the 29th of June, will be in the bookstore in CJ's town. It's down by San Diego. Uh, the name escapes me, but it will be a book signing. And think about this, a chance for many of us, it will be that first time to actually meet in person these other authors. And yeah, over here, this one, this QR code right there is the book on Barnes and Noble, Beyond Boundaries. And we're going to be there doing book signings and giveaways. And it's going to be its own little party in so many ways. And for many people, if you've already got the book, bring it with you. We'll sign the books that you've already bought. Or you can buy the books in Barnes and Noble. But I know that it sounds like you're never sure how many copies are going to be available. But if you're in the San Diego area, or you know somebody, send them by, I believe it's Escondido, and oh shit, I'm sorry, sis, I don't remember the name of the town. It's just northeast of San Diego. So we'd love to see everybody show up there. Then today, as I go through, I've got a number of things. Like I said, a lot of people are new to me. I've got new followers. Everything I talk about, it revolves around move beyond boxes and shine. I mean, that's how boxes to butterflies. To me, shining is being your authentic self. These boxes, these are those places that we get stuck. And we get put in them in many different ways. We get put in them from childhood because a parent has decided that this is who and what we are. Society decides who and what we are. And so we will try to oblige them. We will try to be whatever it is that they're telling us we are. We'll try to fit a box. But the reality is, I've been told I belong in many different boxes. And quite frankly, I cannot fold myself to fit any of those boxes. The idea of a box is that it's going to define you. I mean, that's really what it is. It's like saying you need to niche down. You need to niche down. This is all you can do. This is all you can talk about. This is what you do. Niche, niche, niche. It's going into a box. It's the same thing. If you're neurodiverse, that's your box. And then what do? People that have one little thing in common, but that's it. And sometimes just because of that one thing, some people, yes, they do want to identify as that. They do want to put that out to the world to say, this is what I am. I am ADHD. I am compulsive. I have autism. And they let that define themselves. And that's a choice. So they go into a labeled box, and that's totally their choice. But there's others of us that we don't fit that box. I have ADHD. You put me in a box and say, you're just like everybody that's neurodiverse. You're just like everybody who's got ADHD. No, I'm not. I am totally different than every one of them. My life experiences are different. How I view myself is different. I don't fit the box. And on top of that, we have to remember that when I talk about boxes and being put in a box, being put in this thing that has a label on it. You're being stuck there, and whoever is putting you there, even if it's yourself, whoever is putting you there has already predetermined, they've selected what they will use as the narrative of what everybody in the box is like, what they look like, how they act, what they sound like. They're all the same. It's like, oh, you have ADHD, you're all like this. No, you're not. We are diverse people. We have unique experiences. We were created differently. There is nothing that is the same about any of us except for if you cut us, we bleed. I mean, there's basics, but who we are is so different than other people. Why do you think, like in the words of one of my friends on LinkedIn, find your people. It's because we're not all the same. And sometimes those people that we connect with the best, they're different than us. Their differences complement things that we don't have. So it's our uniqueness, it's our diversity that makes us so much stronger. So being stuck in a box, being painted as everybody else, no. That's why I say move beyond boxes. Originally, I was like, no more boxes. But this world has gotten to the point where it has to put people in a box. People are like, oh, you have glasses, then you're like this. Oh, you have black hair, you're like this. Oh, you're tall. Oh, you're short. Oh, you're pick. This is what you're like. No, we are each different and we don't fit these boxes. Quite frankly, no box can define you. And all of the boxes that you could be put in, they can't define you either. You're so much more. That's what I will say to people. It's like they try to put me in boxes. Like all these boxes that you can put me in, if I told you all the different pieces about me, and you take all those boxes and then you put them together and say, this defines you. No, it doesn't. I'm more than all of those boxes combined. And so are you. That's what I want people to understand. You do not have to be stuck in a box. There are times that, and I need to be very careful on how I say this, because I am opposed to the boxes, I'm opposed to the labels, I'm opposed to the stigmas, because that's what creates so much of the friction in this world. There are times that we need to know the name of the box. So in my case, I had a feeling that I might have ADHD. I had a sister who, she's like, I think you have it. I think you should be checked out. And another sister who's like, yeah, I agree. I think you should. And then so it was in April that I was finally assessed and then diagnosed with ADHD. Having the label for that specific box and only that box allowed me to go, okay, now that I know what it is, now that I know the diagnosis, I can move beyond that box. That's about the only time that I want to see a label on a box, is because I know that I am going to leave it as soon as somebody sticks me in it. The rest of them, I'm not even going in them. I'm 5'11". I'm not going to fold myself to fit anybody's box. Pure and simple. So when we have these boxes, when we're dealing with these situations, we can go in there because of the neurodiversity. Maybe it's because we have a non-regional accent. or we have a speech impediment. Maybe it's having overcome an addiction. There's all these different things that we build up walls around us to hide. We don't want people to see it. That's what holds us back. We start building these walls, and suddenly you're not engaging with people either. And if you are, it's superficial, because to engage with somebody at any level beyond the superficial is like risking that you might open a hole in your wall and they'll see your truth. And then there's the fear. Fear is so good at holding on to us. The fear will hold us back. The fear keeps us in the box. The fear keeps us from engaging the way that we are really meant to engage, to really share and talk with others. And I just want to shout out, because like Sharon's here, Charles, Leanna, and Laura. It's great seeing you guys in the comments. And that's what I love. I love seeing the comments because it's a way for us to have a dialogue. And yes, I normally don't do solo, but there's so much happening. This is a day for me to do solo. And I'm talking about the boxes, because move beyond boxes and shine, that is my core. That is, and especially for women, because I got tired of being told who I am, what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to be. And nobody asks me, who are you? What are you interested in? What do you want to do? It's like everybody's telling me, this is what you have to do. And I have to live up to it. It's time to move beyond those boxes. It's time to understand that we have given control to somebody or to our fear. That's why we're stuck in the box. That's why we've built these walls. But once you get your awareness ignited, you ignite the awareness that I don't have to stay stuck. I can move beyond this box. That's when things start to change. That's when you realize, oh, I knew this is why I was in the box. I knew what the name of the box was. But if knowing is half the battle, awareness is that first step. Once you have the awareness, you can start to make your plans. You can start to take back control and move beyond the box to be who you are meant to be. I talk about the boxes in this aspect and speak about it. That's why I love speaking on boxes. I also love speaking on belonging, especially when it comes to the workplace. Because how many of us have been in a workplace where it just seems like you don't feel safe? You can't be your authentic self. And being your authentic self is so important. I mean, if you look at my logo up in the top left corner there, move beyond boxes and shine. Shine means be your authentic self in the world for everybody to see. That's the shine. So when you are your authentic self, you're not afraid that somebody's going to walk up to you and say, I heard this about you. And whatever this is, maybe it was you overcame an addiction. Maybe it's, I heard you were divorced. Maybe it's you're having family issues or whatever. And you were always afraid of having to answer that question. When you are aware, when you take back control, then you also have the ability, because it's your right, to say whether that's true or not, it's none of your business. I'll tell people what I want them to know. I didn't tell you, it's none of your business. You have control. When we have a workplace where people feel safe to be their authentic self, they're not afraid to hide their accent like that. I like to say, because there's so many stereotypes in this world, let's take a gal who grew up in the South and she's working and she's a manager in the North, but she's afraid that if she lets people hear that Southern accent, they will stereotype her. Women, ladies, I've seen studies where we hide. 3 out of 5 of us are hiding things in the workplace. And the majority of the reason why we're hiding in the workplace is we're afraid to be stereotyped. We shouldn't have to deal with that fear. We have so much to offer this world when we shine. So that's much of the belonging. Take the workplace, create a safe environment for everyone to feel that they belong. And when they belong, then you have a diverse workplace. Everybody feels included. Everybody feels equal. They feel they have a say. And when you have that diversity and that belonging in a workplace where management can look at you, at its employees, everybody that's working there, when they feel safe, they engage, not superficially. They engage in real conversations. They're not afraid to say, we're working on this project, and I think if you do this, this might help overcome some of those hurdles that were holding us back. They're willing to say this because when they're afraid, they're not willing to put these ideas out in case it might open a window in the wall for somebody to see that which they're hiding. Because of, if you were X, could you come up with this idea? When you have a free flow of ideas, that's collaboration. And as my dear sister CJ, Dr. Constance Leland says, it is collaboration over competition. It's lovely to see you, Willie. I've been in a number of anthologies with Willie, and that's another topic that's coming up. But collaboration, when you've got that in the workplace because people feel like they belong, that's where a company may think they're doing well. That's when things really start to fly. That's when a company is going to see its bottom line start to grow and everybody becomes a part of it. So that's, in that 20-minute nutshell, that is what it means to move beyond boxes and shine. That is a lot of what I talk about. But there's so much more. With Move Beyond Boxes and Shine, the focus is to be soul-hearted. I mean, I hear people all the time, and it's my dear sister who's coined this phrase, and it's like, it makes so much sense. We hear people talk about being heart-centered all the time, yet we're seeing what people are doing. And if you say you're heart-centered, but your actions don't seem to be following up with it, it becomes just another catchphrase. When you're soul-hearted, again, when I talk about being your authentic self, when I talk about who you are at your core, who you were created to be, because let's face it, the bodies that we're in, it's a shell. And the body is going to turn to dust at some point. But we have a soul. That's who we are. That's our authentic self. When you're soul-hearted, That is your authentic self and how it's coming out to others and sharing and caring and giving to others. So being soul-hearted is really what we look at, what we're looking for, how we are able to see differences in people. I say that now because I want to talk about a lot of the things that are coming up. And things that are coming up, it's both Move Beyond Boxes and Shine. And I just published my first anthology a couple weeks ago. So it's like now fully a publisher. I have self-published 2 books, but this is my first anthology to publish. And it's a #1 international bestseller. It hit #1 in 5 different countries. The QR code in the top right corner, that is for the US link. That's the QR code for the Amazon Kindle version of this book. The paperback will be out in about a week and a half, maybe 10 days-ish, end of next week. And we're really excited to get that up and running too. So we'll have the paperback to complement the Kindle version. This book, all of our books, when CJ and I are doing books together, Beyond Boundaries, Level Up, Moving Beyond Boxes, Move Beyond Boxes and Shine. It's a combination of the amazing stories of our authors who have joined us on these journeys of what they went through and how they got through it. For many, it's a roadmap to get from where you're feeling stuck now to moving beyond those boundaries, moving beyond those boxes, and the business case behind a lot of these as well. When we're able to move beyond that which is holding us, especially as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, business owners, that's when things really start to open up. That's when you start to be able to put more into your business, more opportunities, and shine. And so this isn't just a memoir. It isn't just a collection of stories. It also has a business focus. We see this as being a book that you would want to put, both of these books, that you would want on your business bookshelf, that you can say, you can pull out, open up and go, I remember reading this and I have a business case right now that I need some help on. Let me check. And what did this person go through? I can do that. That looks great. I can do that. I'm going to do that. And so it becomes more than just a book. And that's why we are so focused on keeping these anthologies in the forefront of people's minds. We want them, we want these to keep going because, one, it's a legacy. It's a huge legacy for each author. Their words go down to the next generation and the next generation. And oftentimes, think about it. What would it mean to you to read stories like this of what your grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents went through, and you read that and you go, oh, wow, I'm going through that right now. They went through the same stuff I did. This is how they got through it. Maybe that can help me get through it. Anthologies, we want them to do more than just be a one and done. We want them to be something that goes on and people keep going back to because they have something to go where they're working through. That's the beauty of these anthologies. And we love working with our authors. Each anthology, it's got a theme. So both of these books had themes, and we are getting ready. We will start promoting the next anthology. We're doing 4 of these anthologies a year. We're going to start promoting the next one in July. So in just a few weeks, today's the 12th, so in less than 3 weeks, we'll be announcing the next anthology. And when we do anthologies, we move. We don't waste time with them. So the month of July, we'll be talking about the anthology coming up, opening the doors. The month of August, that's the writing month. And we work with our authors. We have a class. We have a unique way of working with our authors so that their stories are the best that they can be. Both CJ and I, we work so well together in terms of editing, in terms of putting the books together, and working with the authors. When we edit, we're also teaching. It's ingrained in us to throw out ideas, not to change. We never want to change an author's story. We never want to change their voice. We want them to have the story that is their story in their voice, because they are a part of this book. They're a co-author. This book is not meant to be one voice. This book is meant to have a soul that is created by multiple voices. That's what gives these anthologies something special. It gives them a life of their own. So we're doing anthologies, and we're actually doing this a couple of ways now. So we have the anthologies like this. If we take the next one we're looking at, July, we do the announcements. We'll be talking about it, opening up the doors for people to join. August, that's when we write the anthology. Anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000 words. September, it will come out. It will be published in early September. We have our process down. We know we've got it set. And so that is one way to get into our anthologies. And we work so hard to keep the pricing low, because you got to remember, when you're in an anthology, somebody's doing the editing, somebody's doing the marketing. It's a team effort on a lot of this, yet somebody's putting in the time to make this the best it can be for each author involved. Then we are also opening up, and this is the this QR code, the book club. We're starting a book club through Level Up Academy. A monthly book club. It's going to be $50 a month. And if you are in that book club for 10 months, at the end of 10 months, you'll be offered to be in an anthology at no extra cost. It's like you work with us for 10 months, and during that 10 months, we are working with you on your writing, on being an author, thinking about what you're writing, the details of the writing, some of the marketing aspects of it. We have classes each month focused on helping you get through the writing process for a chapter in our anthologies. By the end of 10 months, you should pretty much have that chapter done and ready for an anthology. Then we want to look at the themes of the anthologies. we may have a group of veterans going through the books, going through our book club. At the same time, we may have a group of women that have something they want to focus on. We may have a group of people that are focused on belonging. I mean, different topics. We can have different books on different topics, depending on how many authors are in the book club. It opens the door to possibilities, to a lot of possibilities. And we are set up to be able to do that. We want everyone to have an opportunity to be in an anthology. And this is another way to do it. Talk about some of the grammar. Talk about how to create the ideas. I'll be doing storytelling classes and writing classes through this time period. And then we will meet like once a month. We'll have a time that we'll meet for people to just ask questions, because we have classes. For me, I will have classes through the book club, and I am working on some other classes that are focused on storytelling and business. And I can even do, for those who want it, storytelling for genre fiction if they want, because I've written all of it. Having these type of classes to help others level up their writing, level up their goals. How many of you wanted to be a writer? Maybe you want to write your own book, but you don't know where to start. You don't know how to start. You're not sure. You're just not sure. Going through the book club is a great way to get your feet wet and get used to the writing. I've found that the authors that have worked with us in past anthologies, many of them, it's like, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm good enough. Once that book was published, they're looking at us going, so when's the next one? When do we get to do another one? How can I get into another one? Writing is therapeutic. Writing is inspirational, because it's a way to convey ideas, and that's what we want to help level up others, to convey those ideas. So I've talked about the books, the book club. We also, Level Up Academy has the Level Up magazine, Level Up circle. That would be the QR code that's straight above me. We are looking, CJ is looking for 10 soul-hearted souls to feature in the next magazine, the next Level Up magazine. I was in the one that she put out. The first one was put out in March. So this will be the next one. I don't remember what the focus is, but check out the QR code, and it will ask for some information, because she'll be looking for what you have, what you say, and how will this fit the theme of that magazine so that you can be featured, because these articles are also written in-house. So you're not writing these articles. You're not having to go have somebody to write it for you. They're all being done within Level Up. And when these are done, it goes everywhere. It's just like the publicity. Constance is the publicity queen. She has press release opportunities. She has premium magazine opportunities. Premium magazines, that's a pay to play. yet she gets discounts. She finds deals. And when you are ready to have the world really see you, who you are, what you have to offer, that's the time for getting into these magazines, getting blasted out into the world, around the world, so people can see you, they know what you're doing, and they're ready to work with you. Find those ways to collaborate. So the press releases are there. And then I want to bring up another picture because we did it last year, and now we're doing it again this year. The 50 inspirational connections. Here's the QR code. It's on my other page as well. Here's the QR code to apply for, and that's the key. You're applying for the 50 inspirational to be one of those 50. And again, the QR code is right up here. So it's the second one from the right. Scan that. It's going to take you to a form that you will fill out, a questionnaire. After you fill out that questionnaire, it will be reviewed. CJ is reviewing these. And then she will take a group, and at the end of June, when the doors close on applying, and depending on how many, the doors may close before the end of June. Then once those doors are closed, she will be sending out an email that says, okay, I've seen what you got. I want you to give me a 5-minute video, and not more than 5 minutes. 501, nope, doesn't count. Basically a 5-minute video or just under that will answer, why are you doing the business that you're doing? And what are you doing for your community? Those are the questions that we'll be talking about, because inspirational, we're talking, how are you inspiring others around you? What is the inspiration? And then after those are done, you'll turn those into CJ, and 50 of them will be picked, and that will be the 50 inspirational. And there's going to be a big event in, I believe, in August, after everything is done. Maybe even next month. I'm not quite sure. Don't know the date yet. There'll be an event for everybody to get together. They'll have networking, awards, who are the inspirational. It's all going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Between that, though, part of the reason that you're doing this application, you're talking about yourself, you're applying, you answer the questions, and then we'll be looking to see what you said matches what you've done, what you're doing. Is your profile complete? Do you have a complete profile, or does it not have a picture? Is it not making sense? It's not complete. Missing pieces that you talk about in one spot, but you don't show somewhere else. And then we'll look back over time to see, are you engaging with your community? How are you uplifting your own community? How are you there for others? So you can say you're soul-hearted. Do we see that you're soul-hearted? That's what we're looking for. So the 50 inspirational, last year was the first year. This year, second year, it's being leveled up, which is pretty typical when it comes to my dear sister. The Netflix of education, She wants to level up the world, and she is doing it. She is everywhere. Part of this leveling up, I want to talk about the importance of supporting each other. Again, we talk about collaboration over competition. When you are supporting each other, you're not just lifting yourself up, or you're not just lifting the other person up, you're being lifted up with them. That's the beauty of support. That's the beauty of being there together. I've had a lot of people support me over the years. And I've seen too, and my post is going to come out a little bit later. I've seen how there's some people are like, they don't really acknowledge the people that helped them get to where they are. It's like, when you succeed, it's because you did the hard work. Okay. Yes, you're going to do the hard work. But who helped you? Who crossed your paths? Who crossed your path at a very moment that you needed something, and they provided it, and then they disappeared from your life again? Yet, had they not crossed your path at that point, you could not go forward. What about those that enter your life for a season, and then, for whatever reasons, you go separate paths? They're no longer in your life, and you may cross again some other time, or you may not. But during that season, they were supporting you. I can think about a lot of people, and it's so many, it's too many to start listing out. But I think about it, and I will do my own prayers, and I'll thank God for each person who crossed my path, because I know this one was a purpose, this one was a season, and this one is there, and this is my sister. So we have those who are there for the long haul, who you just can't imagine how you would ever be without them. So a reason, a season, and so much more. And it's my sisters that are so much more. I couldn't do the things that I've been able to do. I don't know where I would be right now without my sisters. I don't know where I'd be without everybody who has crossed my path for a reason or a season, or that has been here and walked with me continuously through the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the roller coasters, because we all go through them. You can say, yeah, I did it myself, but you didn't. You learn from everybody we cross paths on. We learn from every one of them. So think about the support, because that again comes right back to what is happening between Move Beyond Boxes and Shine. I want to support, especially, like I said, my focus is on women and moving beyond the boxes that we always feel stuck in. And it's like, we know where we're stuck, but we're not letting our awareness take over and move beyond being stuck. And it's the same for you guys too, for everybody out there. We know we're stuck, but until we ignite that awareness to say, I can and I am taking back control. Level Up Academy, it's the same thing. We're here to help level up the world. CJ is leveling up the world in so many different ways. We've got the PR I mean, she is the publicity queen and she is phenomenal at publicity. She's got not one, two, two TV shows. She's got her own TV channel. Tomorrow morning, Thursday, every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, you will see CJ on her TV show. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, she has a live stream. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, it's a TV show. It's a TV show that includes a short lecture on some topic. She's always teaching, always giving. She teaches. She has multiple jobs. She's a teacher. She's college level teacher. So what she is teaching, even on Sundays, there are students going to college paying thousands of dollars for this information. But those are her classes. We all have that. But we're also soul-hearted. We want to be there to help others level up, to move from where they're feeling stuck to the next level, and then help move to the next level, whether it's on TV, whether it's on podcasts, because CJ has podcasts too. I've got my live streams. We bring people in because we want to raise them. We want to get them more visibility. What is happening? What's going on in the world? What are you doing? How are you lifting others? And when we do that, it's beautiful to see and watch others as they start to fly on their own. And I know I'm getting close to a few more minutes. As I'm thinking about watching others rise and fly and level up, I think about butterflies. And if you know me, you see my logo, you see my, right there next to my name is my signature emoji. 2 butterflies and an eagle. The butterfly, it's that transformation. It's that reinvention. And we're always reinventing ourselves. It's why I call myself the Reinvention Maven, because I went through a total reinvention a couple years ago. And total reinvention can be anything. It can be going back to school. It can be leaving a job you have here and moving across the country, moving across the world and starting over again. It can be getting married and starting a family. There are so many things. Reinvention has many levels, many things. But the butterfly aspect of it is when you go through this transformation, you go from that caterpillar, from whatever it was that you were at before, you go through the reinvention, you go through that process, the metamorphosis, as the caterpillar turns into a butterfly. You're doing something very similar as you're reinventing yourself. And once you come out on the other side, once you emerge from that cocoon, you can't go back. The butterfly is not going to go back into a cocoon and go back to being a caterpillar. Once you've gone through it, once you've moved beyond boxes and shine, you don't go back. You are a butterfly. You are in the world. For some, it's a phoenix. For some, it's an eagle. I mean, there's so many different things out there. Once you've emerged, it's time to shine and fly. And that would be why I have an eagle. to fly, to soar, to be your authentic self. And then that second butterfly, that's for the butterfly effect, which was first coined by Ray Bradbury in his time travel sci-fi short story, A Sound of Thunder. So many people, I hear so many people say, I wish I could go back and change this and change that. Here's the thing. If you go back and change anything in your life, you will no longer be the same person. If you go back and change even something small, it will have an effect later on in your life. It may be small, it may be significant. Even a small change can make a huge difference in the future. So when I think of that story by Ray Bradbury, and when I think of the butterfly effect, I think of my life and what would have happened if certain things had happened in the past. If I made these little changes. To be honest, I don't know what I would turn out to be. I don't know what I would be like by the time I got to by the time I got to the age I'm at now, if I got to the age I'm at now. Everything in our past is a part of what defines us in the present. To change the past is to change the present. Very simple. When I can stand in front of the mirror and love who I see, when for so long I couldn't, why would I ever want to risk that for a question mark? Because once you make a change, the future is a question mark. You don't know what's going to be. So think about that as well. Think about, would you really want to change anything in the past? And then, instead of focusing on the past, if there are things that you want to change, make this the moment to change them. Don't stay in the past. Don't say, oh, I wish, oh, why didn't I? If there's really something you wanted changed, now is the time to do it. Because you don't know your future, but you know your present. And if you stay present, that makes the future wide open. So we're coming to the end of the time. It's been great to kind of get all this out because there is just so much happening. That's why I have all these QR codes across the top, and I'll be keeping them there because there's just so much happening. And my dear sister CJ, there's stuff going on, and there's stuff that we're planning that I didn't even touch on here. So watch what's going on and know that we're watching you. Be your best. Be your authentic self. And if for some reason you're having difficulties, you're stuck in a box, you want to get out but you don't know how, I'm here. DM me. This is what I do. This is what I talk about. This is how I help. This is how I help women move beyond boxes. This is how I help organizations move beyond their own business as usual boxes to really create a space of belonging. It's also important to grow together. So take this time, see where you want to be, and I will leave you with this quote by George S. Patton. The test of success is not how high you are now, how successful you are. The test of success is how high you bounce after you've hit the bottom. It was great spending this time with everybody, and I look forward to next week and seeing you next week. Have a wonderful rest of your week in this middle of June. Bye.